Hi, I'm Libby.
And I'm Riley, and welcome to On the Come Up. As young professionals ourselves, we're constantly striving to connect and uplift young people in the Toledo community. Our podcast is featuring young entrepreneurs and professionals in the area from all different industries and walks of life who are making an impact in Toledo.
We're excited to have our guests discuss their background, their education, and training, and give any advice for other young professionals like us. We're also going to take a look at varying pop culture trends among Gen Zers like ourselves and discuss or debunk them, maybe even a little Roman Empire.
You know what I've been thinking about?
What, girl?
I have been thinking about how indecisive I am, and actually how indecisive Gen Z as a whole can be.
Yeah, that's so real.
I mean, literally, I'm supposed to go to work for 8 hours, and then I'm supposed to go home and decide what to eat for dinner? No.
At that point, so fatigued.
So fatigued. The decision fatigue is crazy. It goes so insane. And then that's what actually makes me really dive deeper into this topic is how in the world did either of us ever pick college majors?
I don't know. It was such a struggle for me.
No, literally. I always thought I was going to do theater, and then literally my junior or senior year of high school, I was like, okay, no, journalism actually. So
right? For mine, I was like, I'm going to go into occupational therapy. My whole life, I thought that's what I was going to do. And then boom, sociology.
Yeah, literally the crazy transition is insane, but I think our guest today can relate to that.
Definitely.
We are so excited today to be joined by Chloe Smallwood. What's up, girl?
Hi.
I have not seen Chloe in a minute.
Yeah.
We did a little theater cabaret situation a few years back, and that's how we met. Mm-hmm. And I have been since keeping up with her on social media and seeing all the incredible things that she's been doing. So snaps to you, first of all.
Thank you.
But Chloe, we really want to dive into your life as a young professional. And I mean, I think we all know that being a professional in a Gen Z landscape with different ages around you and, different demographics can be difficult. So we want to talk to you a little bit about your kind of life path, but we want to run it back first.
Yes. Tell us where you grew up. I'm so interested to know.
So let's see. Let me break it down. I grew up in the sub-cities of Toledo. So it was mommy for about 6 years, and I moved to Perrysburg, and that's where I grew up through elementary school to high school. And then when I went off to college, it was Toledo. I was there for about 4 years.
So you're local.
Yeah.
Yes. We love a born and raised. We love that.
Thank you.
No,
And
so
what did you major in?
I majored in public health with a concentration of pre-medicine.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, smarty pants.
Thank you.
I was going to say, I think whenever we talk about creative majors or things like that, I'm always just like, oh, I get it. Journalism, writing, whatever. I hear public health, I'm like, whoa, tell me everything.
Right. And were you there during COVID years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oof.
So that's really
Felt,
interesting.
yeah.
Public health during COVID.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Well, tell us too, when you were growing up, kind of what made you interested in going to UT and in taking that path?
UT.
I was going to say, because you did switch. I mean, you grew up doing a lot of arts, theater and music and stuff. Talk a little bit about that and kind of what led you to changing your course.
Yeah, I still do musical theater around in the community, and I still do acting as well as professionally too. I think the switch for me was in high school. I had a family member that was admitted to the hospital for DVT, blood clots within his legs.
Wow.
And yeah, it was my first time having a vivid memory in the hospital, and instead of being scared, I was like, oh, what's all this? Is that an IV? What kind of medication are you using on him? What can I do to help him when he comes back home, et cetera, et cetera.
Wow. That's really fascinating because to me, I go to a hospital and I'm like, how fast can I get out of here? So I love that your brain is wired like that to be so investigative and interested.
Curious. Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
love that. So then kind of how did that stick with you to then go into school at UT with that major?
Ooh. So when I was picking out my majors to go into the medical field, you can pick almost anything. So you can do chemistry, biology, you can do theater. For me, I really wanted to find a major that would support my medical career as well as teaching me the human side of medicine as well. unfortunately, chemistry and biology does not do that. So I was like,
Right.
where else can I find something? And then my advisor at that time was like, why don't you do public health? I was
Which I'm not sure I even really knew that was a avenue you could take, which is
Yeah.
super cool.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I've ever met a public health major. So tell
Hey.
me, like what's up? No, tell us a little bit about kind of like your course load there, and what you were focused on with public health. Like, what's the scope of that major?
Yeah, so for public health, we focus on the health of a group instead of like the individual, like in medicine.
Which that's super interesting too. I was a sociology major, so it's that same kind of thing, focusing on the group and the community rather than just where psychology would be one person. So I feel like we could probably relate in a lot of ways to how that was taught.
No, yeah, for sure. I love that. So obviously you went through that transition though of your kind of focus. And so I think it's so interesting, when we were doing our little homework before the podcast, we found this article that UT wrote on you, which was so cute.
Super cute.
And I love that. And so, I mean, it talked a little bit about kind of your transition and then your interests and how you kind of led into public health. But what did you think while you were going through school that you would use that degree for?
I know when you become a public health major, you have to take a CHES exam. Because I was pre-med, I could not become like a public health specialist because it wouldn't really help me as much on my medicine journey.
Right. That makes sense. And so then tell us a little bit, like you graduated from UT with your public health degree. So tell us a little bit about those next steps after graduation. And, are you still planning on going into the medical field in that way? What's the schooling like for that? Tell us that situation.
Yeah, so I still plan on going to medical school. I'm in my gap year right now. I'm studying for my MCAT. I take it in June.
Woof.
Yeah. The MCAT is an 8-hour long exam. There's breaks in between. We are tested in biochemistry, biology, chemistry, organic chemistry, physics. What else am I missing?
For those who can't see me in the studio, my jaw is on the floor.
Same.
Absolutely no brain cells for that.
Yeah, and then we do cards, which is a critical thinking too.
Wow. Man. So what is even the process of like studying for that?
So you usually want to start preparing 6 months beforehand. So I started around December and January. Usually take about 10 to 20 hours within the week to focus on a certain subject. Say if I went through chemistry for the first week, Monday I would go over all of my chemistry notes, and then I would do biology for that week, and then the next Monday after that, I look over my biology notes and my chemistry notes, and then I focus on psych and soc.
Oh, nice. Incremental learning. I love to see that.
Yeah.
And so are you working right now too?
Yes.
That's so impressive.
Thank you. I work as a medical receptionist at a eye doctor clinic.
Oh, nice.
So you're getting that like still medical field experience even in your gap year, which is really cool, obviously. And also, we have seen that you are working with FilmToledo.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that, Miss Community Outreach.
Thank you. Well, I'll explain what FilmToledo is. It was founded in 2018. It's basically a regional nonprofit film commission covering Toledo and Northwest Ohio areas. We work with film production companies who are interested in filming in our region. We provide assistance with location scouting and permits, and work with regional businesses and property owners in making film productions possible here. We also work with filmmakers, organization, and sponsoring and hosting events that celebrate health growth in the Northwest Ohio film community.
Wow.
That's so impressive.
Well, and it's cool, we talk a lot about, obviously, this being in community theater, we have such a rich community theater, scene in this area.
Definitely.
But I think it's also so interesting how you guys at FilmToledo are bringing that film to Toledo. You think of the film industry and you're like, oh, Hollywood, or we got to go to, a certain location for that. But it's bringing it right here, which is really incredible.
Yeah.
Have you worked on any particular projects or helped facilitate any particular projects that are really stand out to you?
So I can't really mention some things because it's
Sure.
privacy reasons
Of course.
as well.
Yes,
but
non-disclosure. I love.
gotta keep it up. But I'm a professional actor too. I just signed with a talent agency.
How cool. You really do it all.
No, seriously.
Thank you. I did a couple commercials for a hotel around here, and because it's now public, I did a commercial with the University of Toledo too.
Nice.
What else?
I was going to say, who better to advertise the University of Toledo than you? Like,
Paid for my medical tuition.
so real, so real.
Yeah. And then with FilmToledo, what I do, I send out a lot of emails to different companies that are film related or people who are like-minded in the film, like all we are. I introduce myself and be like, hi, my name is Chloe Smallwood. I am the community and educational outreach on this chair. And I just want to introduce myself. If there's anything that I can do to support you, let me know. I give them, if they ask for support, I give them a list of different, how do you say, like different
Like
companies?
resources?
Yes, there's different resources, different organizations that would be fitted for their needs.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's really cool. We do a lot of work too. Community outreach is such a big part of journalism.
Definitely.
And, with Libby in a sales capacity and me in the editorial side, we do a lot of that community outreach work. And I think as a young professional, I feel like there's nothing better for your own development too, because you are working so much with the community, but you're simultaneously networking and meeting so many different people that you never know who's going to help you down the road. Like I met you 4 years ago or, and now here you are on this podcast. Like this is so fun.
And not to mention, it's so fulfilling to
Right.
just be able to help people move along. So I can't imagine, when you have such a passion for film, being able to help with that is so awesome.
And even in the medical sense, like
True, yeah.
obviously, all medical professionals are legitimate heroes as
Definitely.
close as we get to serious heroes here. So, I think it's so cool to find people who have that passion and who are driving that forward.
Absolutely.
Thank you. You guys are amazing.
Oh, stop. Okay, but keep going.
So I'm super interested to hear more about your theater ventures.
Yes, Libby and I are certified theater kids.
Yes.
Hi.
What have you been doing recently? What shows?
Let's see.
What are you up to?
Back in October, I was in Rocky Horror. I played
Nice.
there Janet for Stone Productions.
Yes, you did.
Theater. Unfortunately, I haven't been doing a lot for this year. I've been really focusing on like film acting
Sure.
and commercial work.
Wow, almost like you're also studying for the MCAT or something.
Right.
I do a lot.
Actually.
Well, and I think, you being in a community outreach position in so many different ways, like whether it be your future ventures in the medical field or even right now with FilmToledo, I think you learn a lot of that personal development within the community aspect through theater, right? Like, talk about kind of what you have taken away from your local theater experiences in that regard.
Yeah, I grew up being a super shy kid. I couldn't really speak. I stuttered a lot, and I had like a little bit of a lisp too. I still have it too. I think when I first started community theater, I had a problem with speaking publicly to people. So when I was able to like cast a role as like a certain person, I could pretend that I was that person.
Yeah.
Like, I could
Right.
pretend that I was confident.
Transform.
Yeah. I could pretend like my persona. I could pretend that I can do this. Talk to somebody, be confident, and get my stuff out of the way. If that makes sense.
It does.
Definitely.
And then as I got older, I realized, okay, I'm playing this person. Why can I not be that person?
Right.
So
That's a super interesting perspective to take.
Yeah. Wow. And I feel like, just keep continuing to step into those roles. Like Rocky Horror is a pretty zany show.
Yeah.
So it's like stepping into those crazy roles and doing all of these different shows, you start to kind of bolster your own confidence, which is really, really cool and kind of helps push you into a place where, you don't have to be nervous about stepping into a big exam like the MCAT or stepping into a new role at a job or whatever, because you have started to kind of gain that confidence within yourself to do it, which is so special, I think. So, we want to talk too about problems with being a young professional.
Yes, I want to get into this
It's
because
just, it's such a difficult landscape to navigate when you're young.
Yeah, and I think, at least from our experience, you know, sometimes just because we're young or we're giggly or we're using slang, it's like, oh, you're not professional, or oh, you're not taking this job seriously. But I don't think that's the case, and I'm just curious if you've experienced that at all.
Yeah, I have. When I told people that I want to be a doctor, but I also want to do acting, they're like, well, you only have to pick one. And then I would go back to them and be like, why do I have to pick one?
Right.
I can have multiple passions and fuel my learning in each aspect.
Definitely. And, you know, take on multiple ventures to feel like that well-rounded, confident person that you are today.
For sure. I think we find it frustrating, especially, you know, being so silly and goofy and trying to bring that light into the workspace sometimes can be misconstrued as, you know, goofing off or not necessarily taking things seriously. Like, just because I look at my boss and say, you slay, does not mean I am a worse journalist because of it. So, you know, it is an interesting kind of line to walk. And I'm fascinated about the having to choose between, you know, picking like acting or the medical field, or even, you know, FilmToledo or the medical field, or different things like that. It's so interesting to me and inspiring to see that you are not going to choose. You're refusing to be put in that box because you want to pursue multiple passions. I mean, that's what makes young professionals so special, is having all of these different talents that we can use to our advantage in so many different arenas of life.
It's reminding me of the scene in High School Musical where, like, Troy's dad wants him to play basketball. He's like, no, I want to sing. But you're like, I'm doing both.
No, seriously. I mean, okay, modern day Troy Bolton, I guess. Like,
Thank you. I will not be limited.
I love that. I love that. And so I think we kind of want to wrap it up by asking if you have any advice that you would give to any young professionals in the area who, you know, just might not have that confidence or might also feel like they have to choose.
Yeah, it takes a while to build confidence. If you're passionate about something, go for it. Make sure you find people that can support you, friends or family, and just go for it.
Wow. Yeah.
I love that.
I love that too. All right, Chloe, are you ready for our favorite part of On the Come Up?
Time.
I'm ready.
It's
Let's
that
go.
time. Roman Empire time.
Okay.
As we all know, this is about a thought that we cannot get out of our heads. So, Chloe, what is your Roman Empire today?
Taking naps at 4 p.m.
Nice.
Yeah.
So real.
I feel like it's better than taking naps in the morning and not too late at night when you actually have to go to sleep.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, you like the 4 p.m. nap.
I
Okay.
do. I have
You are on to something low key.
See, me, if I fall asleep at 4 p.m., I'm sleeping until like 8, and then I wake up and I'm like, wait, that wasn't a full night's sleep.
It's all about the quick refresher. Like, you got to have the
Yeah.
iPhone timer,
Yeah.
something.
2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours at most. Anything
Okay.
more, that's a slumber, okay?
Yeah.
Slumber.
I'm a slumber girly.
That's so fair.
I'm out. As soon as my head hits the pillow, I'm like 8-10 hours. Let's go.
Yeah, no, that's really valid, actually. I love that answer. Okay, Libby.
Okay, mine today. This is great that you're here. We needed a girly for this question. Mine is Justice, the clothing brand that used to be at the mall, all the neon.
I'm so sorry. I'm so passionate. I was a justice junkie during like middle school. Oh my, in elementary
too.
school.
But so me too. And I would beg my parents, like, you know, you'd be in the store like clutching at their legs, like, please get me this top with a monkey that's all glittery.
The top
like,
with the monkey.
Don't get me started.
But can we talk about how it's now in Walmart? And
is?
like these kids, like, they don't have it how we had it.
Catch me and Chloe learning new information from Libby today.
It's
'cause
just on the racks at Walmart.
They
There's no
don't deserve it.
No.
They do not.
don't
Wait,
deserve
so
that.
like the actual Justice storefront is gone.
for the most part, I think so.
That is bananas. Wow.
Yeah. So it's like
Well,
these kids will never know that it was like Prada. It was like wearing Chanel.
no,
but it
literally.
was
I feel like
Justice.
If you
I
showed
feel
up to
like-
elementary school in the Justice top, like you were prime.
You were that
the
girl.
one.
That's
yeah.
I am the one.
Yeah, no, literally, like I am the one.
Yeah, they should have like a museum for justice, like justice outfits and everything. I feel like it's that important to our community.
Okay,
It really is.
New business venture. We're going to be putting together the Justice Museum.
I feel like we can do that at the Toledo Art Museum. Be like, hey, I got something for you.
You're like, we have a concept for you, bro.
Justice.
called
Like this.
girlhood.
Literally just girlhood. I love that.
A canon event.
No one could interfere with the Justice Tops, I swear.
Okay, Riley, what's yours?
Mine is a little convoluted, so I'm going to try to explain it as well and as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Have you all ever seen, I believe it was 2004, the movie Sleepover with Alexa Vega, Evan Peters, that girl from Aquamarine, Sarah Paxton.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So wrap your brains around this. Evan Peters is in this movie, and he plays the dorkiest dork ever. They call him SpongeBob, like, because he's just such a dork. It's like too long to explain for this. So anyway, just know that they call him SpongeBob. Now, let's flash forward all this time later. We have Eternal Sunshine from Ariana Grande. Now follow me with this, okay?
I'm following.
So here, we've all been keeping up with the Ariana Grande, Ethan Slater relationship drama, a.k.a. Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater are dating. Ethan Slater was married, and it was a whole thing, and it low-key was messy, but we don't have time to unpack all that.
Yeah.
So what I do want to say, though, is that Ariana Grande just put Evan Peters in her music video for the new Eternal Sunshine song, We Can't Be Friends, right? So he's in this music video. They're like lovers in this music video, right?
Oh, I see where this is going.
He was called SpongeBob in the movie Sleepover. Ariana Grande is currently dating Ethan Slater, who played SpongeBob on Broadway. And I was like, are you like massively Taylor Swifting us with this crazy clue?
Like the Easter egg of
is it
it
just
all.
the funniest coincidence of all time? And also have to say a shout out because Evan Peters has always wanted to be in a rom-com and no one would ever let him. They wanted him to be scary little American Horror Story boy. And so now he gets to be in his little rom-com music video with the it girl Ari. Like, that's pretty slay. So anyway, wondering if I'm like Swiftie-ing this too much or if it was just a little coinkydink.
That was it. Maybe not.
Okay, word. No,
I don't
real.
know. I'm like, it's kind of specific.
It's so
but
specific.
I could see it just because of how Taylor Swift has conditioned us.
Right?
To, like,
we have been conditioned. And Ari is just like so clapping back at people right now because of the fact that she's like, she literally even said in one of the songs, like, why do you guys care who I'm with? Like, who should care?
Because he had a baby on the way, girl.
Because he had a baby on the way, girl.
Like, he was married and they even had like little like cold dating dates or whatever.
Yep.
Cold dating dates. Little
Double dates.
Double
Yes.
dates.
So true. There you go. Yeah. No, but literally, like, how are you about to just, break up that little family and then be like, oh, you guys, who cares? But anyway, I mean, no hate. I loved Eternal Sunshine, so I can't even say a word.
Yeah, it's not
I just
hate,
thought that
it's
coincidence was so crazy.
Yeah, love who you want, but I'm looking at you.
I'm looking at you a little bit, Ari.
Side-eye. Bombastic side-eye.
Well, I'm absolutely loving this discussion today, ladies. I think we did a great job. So,
I think you're my new best friend.
Like, are we hanging out after the episode or what?
I mean, let's go get sushi.
Right. Oh, so true. But thank you again, Chloe, for joining us.
Yes.
You were lovely.
Thank you so much. This was great.
Thank you so much for having me. I love you guys. Thank you.
We want to thank Chloe Smallwood, our guest on today's show. We're your hosts and producers, Riley and Libby, and our executive producer, who is trying not to roll his eyes right now, is Chris Pfeiffer.
If you have any questions, comments, or you just want to listen again, go to wgte.org/comeup or wherever you stream your podcast.
Bye, besties.
Bye, bestie.
WGTE. Voices around us.
WGTE is supported in part by the American Rescue Plan Act funds allocated by the City of Toledo and the Lucas County Commissioners and administered by the Arts Commission.